What is up, TBC? It's your boy Tough Builds coming back at you guys live with yet another video. Welcome back, guys. Every single one of you guys, thank you guys once again. We are getting so close to 600 subscribers. That is a big jump for this channel, guys. I have a dream and you guys are setting it for me. So let's keep building TBC, keep sharing the videos, let's keep going, keep growing. Today we're going to be doing brake change on a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I did do a video pre-record because I've done this a few weeks before, but I kind of wanted to jump in front of the camera for a moment and let you guys know that the rear is going to be done on a different video. So if you are looking to maybe do the front and the rear and you thought this video is going to be the right one, sadly it's not. I did do the front brakes, so if you want to watch this one, you guys can go ahead. If the link is not down in the description down below of video 2, I wouldn't waste your time. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Today, we're going to actually be starting on the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee's brakes. Yeah, it took me a while. I know. I had to get the frickin' bitting for the damn socket for the damn tires. But it's okay, because I got it. No, the Mustang is not left. It's still here. It's just outside right now. Why is it outside? Well, I was going to start cleaning my valves, but I decided, nah, I'm just going to leave it like that. Before you guys start working on your Jeep Grand Cherokee, or any car in that matter, when you guys are especially doing drums or brakes or rotors, it doesn't matter. Just make sure, for one thing, you're going to go inside the car. You're going to come inside. My e-brake is done with a kick. So, I'm going to make sure that e-brake is pushed so that the car doesn't do this. Perfect. Perfect stance. If you have one that has the e-brake right on the side, go ahead and pull that bitch up. Number 2, it is a 22 millimeter, so you're gonna need a 22 millimeter deep socket with a breaker bar. Doesn't have to be a big breaker bar, but it does have to be something within that range. You're gonna loosen up all 5 lug nuts. Don't unbolt them all the way though, because the car's not off the floor. So unloosen all 5 lug nuts. Get the car up, take the tire off, and then we're going to be switching out these rotors. If you guys can tell, it's rubbing a little bit there. We're going to switch out the rotors and the pads today, and we're going to see how the Jeep drives afterwards, how she brakes. Hopefully it brakes a lot better than what it's actually been doing. So this is what we're going to be working with. Thank God it's a Jeep. My Mustang is going to be next here very soon. I have a lot of rubbing going on in the back tires. I hear it every single day. It drives me insane. You're back now. A lot of people will be like, how am I going to do the back tires if the e-brake is pulled? Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. Very carefully. You're going to do this job very carefully. What you can do is take some blocks and you can shove them underneath the tires right here. Back tires are going to be a little bit different. I'm going to tell you everything that you're going to need as I go along this time. So the same thing, the routine in the front, you're going to do the same thing in the rear. So you're going to unloosen all 5 bolts, get her up off the ground, take the tire off, and then we're going to be starting with the caliper, taking the caliper off, and then we got the rotor that we have to take off, and we're going to be putting a new one on. Alright, so the Jeep is lifted up. Those only hold about 4 tons together. I'm going to be taking off this tire, guys, and why I told you to loosen them up is they're super easy to come off now. You guys can tell, minus that one, but that's because the wheel is sitting like this right now. It's not fully off the floor yet. I'm going to go ahead and keep turning that, and then I'm going to put the jacks a little bit up higher, and once I do that, then this tire won't be able to come off. We got to take off the rotor, the pads, and start doing the other side the same way. But I'm probably going to fast forward after I take off the wheel so you guys can see, you know, how I do work. Once you are able to get that tire off, the first thing that I would recommend you doing is taking off the spring-loaded hardware right here. The easiest way to do that is just shove your screwdriver in, pull out, make sure that you're not on this side because it's going to fling off. Now, we're moving on to the second step. The second step after you're done taking that off, you're going to come in the back of your caliper. You're going to see these two black things sitting on the back side of your caliper. You're going to go ahead and pull one off, go on the bottom, go ahead and pull off the other one. That's what we're going to be taking out. And what you're going to need to take that out, it's going to be a T55 or a T60. That's what else you could use. This one barely is like not too loose in there, but it does work. So just make sure you don't get the bolt stuck onto this guy. If you do, not a problem. They're easier to get off of this, so don't worry. I did the driver's side perfectly fine and no issues whatsoever. So take this socket, go ahead and do it, and don't mess up. This is important. So let's go ahead, fast forward this bitch. These brake pads actually have a lot of pad. A lot of pad. The brake pads are not the issue, but we're going to replace them anyways. These brake pads don't look that bad at all. Once you have the caliper right off of your bracket that holds on to the rotor, which the rotor holds on to your hub, you're going to go ahead and use a pry bar. Why do I say a pry bar? Well guys, in reality, these are a pickle to get off. And the one you're going to use is a 13/16. That's what fits on those bolts really, really snug. That's what you need. And then you also want to get an attachment like this if you don't have a 3/8 bit or a 3/8 pry bar. If you don't have any of those, you're also going to need a hammer. I don't care what you use. You can use a mallet, regular hammer. It doesn't really matter because those bolts back there are really on there. Like really, really on there. Let's go ahead, fast forward taking this off, and we'll continue the video. There's the bracket, the two screws that I pulled, and the wrench I've used. There's one more step, guys. One more, I promise. There's a black ring right here. It sits in a groove. You will not be able to take off your rotor unless you release that seal right there. So you can either go in it this way or go in it this way. As long as you prop it up, bring it out, your rotor will fall out, and bam. Finally got the anti-vibration ring out. It's just pretty much a silicone ring that sits on it like that. And I'm going to show you guys when I push the rotor back up, there's a groove right there. So that's where it actually goes. So when you put the new rotor on, make sure that you reinstall this where it goes before you start buckling everything back down again. Once you guys have cleaned it off really well, make sure you get all that grease crap off your rotors. I like to clean this whole spot up here as well. I just like to do this. Put this on. New rotor is on. You can go ahead and wipe off your hand grease if you feel like, that might be a problem. The next step, after you guys have accomplished that, it is very easy, just letting you know when you put the lug nut on there. So if you are one person, go ahead and do that. Now we have the bracket. So the bracket has to go on first. Don't be a moron. Put the bracket on, and then we'll go ahead and start buckling up the brake pads. If you don't know the brake pad number for 2015-2016 Jeep Grand Cherokee, there she is right there. That was for your fronts. And when we do the rears, I'll show you the rears and everything too. But they do have new hardware included, so you don't have to worry about breaking those other ones. And your brake pad should look just like that. If they don't, take them back. Doing the caliper. You're going to need one of these guys. If you don't have one of them, then I would suggest picking one up. You're going to take a pad, push it against the piston. Go ahead and start unscrewing this thing. I don't want to go any further and then have it. And make sure the plate is turned to where it's supposed to go into the hoop. And you're going to have to do it separate, so you're going to have to push one in and then go back and push the other piston in. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab the pad, start pressing this side back in. You just want to make sure that you get them as down as far as you can without, breaking them. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this drill as well for you guys, so you don't have to watch me, sit here and put pads in. So let me go ahead. If you're having a little bit of struggle getting the pad in, what I would suggest is taking a pad, putting it against the pad, taking this, doing one side at a time until you get one of those clips pushed into these caliper pistons right here. So each one has its own little groove. You need to make sure that those right there go into the pistons. So make sure you do it right, because you don't want to do it wrong. So let's go ahead and fast forward putting this guy back on. Finally got the caliper on the bracket, and don't forget, guys, do not forget the hardware. So this part is actually easier to do, is put them in first before you put the caliper onto the bracket. Put it in there, hold it on, push this one in first, this one will lock, then this one will pop out, of course, but this one's easy. You just push that in there and it will lock itself in, okay? So it's plain and simple. I just used a screwdriver to get right here, and then I just pushed it above it. It's the best thing that you can do. And I re-cleaned the whole rotor again because I was touching it, so I don't want to leave my greasy hands on that. And then I also cleaned off this guy again one more time. Now, the easy part, guys. This is where we throw the tire back on and we step on the brake and close this caliper up, because if you guys can tell, it's loose. So we have to close it up, and then we can jump onto the other side and get the other side done. The rears are going to be a little bit difficult because I don't have anything to stop the car from rolling. I'm going to have to figure out something before I continue with the rears. Let's just finish up the front brakes, get them all here, and ready to be done. You guys know what time it is. If you are new here, make sure you guys go ahead and smash the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell on the side. Show the love by giving this video a big thumbs up. If you do want to help support TBC, there is a link down in the description down below where it will pretty much take you to Teesprings. You guys can go ahead and pick yourself up a jacket, a shirt, a hat, whatever's on my website. Go ahead and help support the channel. And if you liked it and you thought I did a good job, why don't you guys go ahead and share this video with pretty much anybody you know. And I mean anybody you know.